Hello and welcome everyone. You must be a stalker lover. If you're not, you must love me instead. In any case, I'm TheSparrowsJourney and this is Survarium, a game published and developed by Vostok Games, a young Ukrainian company. I say young because they were built in 2012. But they are mostly veterans from a gaming company that was called GSC Game World. They were responsible for games like Cossacks and The Stalker, which is their most known franchise. You can rapidly see some resemblance between Survarium and Stalker because it really feels just about the same. The atmosphere, the guns, the sounds, everything. They took the chance to develop Survarium as a Stalker-styled game because Stalker 2 was cancelled. As you can see right here, this is some what they call anomalies, which is something that happened in Stalker and happens right here. It's important to know the setting of Survarium. It is a post-apocalyptic world where some sort of catastrophe, happened, and for some unknown reason, no one knows what happened. Something terrible happened and people are trying to survive. See this as some sort of DayZ thing with no zombies, at least. What you're seeing right now is me playing but not talking at the same time. This was recorded on 25th of April when they opened the game to every registered user in their site. They are trying to get into the closed beta, which is exactly the state in which the game is. You can get it yourself and try to get in the game through their site. Just have to register. It should be in the description below. But in this state, they opened the game to all the registered users with some sort of stress test, I would say. You really notice the latency. It was somewhat a little bit laggy, and that's terrible for a first-person shooter. But that's how things worked out. I'm not sure if the game was based in Ukraine, the servers were based in Ukraine or any other place in Europe. But you could really see some people jumping from one place to another. That really revealed a lot of latency. This guy ended my misery. I was just some minutes in the game, was trying just to get the feeling of the map, knowing what to do, whatever to do. Right here, I'm now into this normal state again. Before, I had my eyes hindered. They couldn't distinguish any color. Did you just heard that sound? That's the kind of feel Survarium sometimes gets to you. It really genuinely gets you a little bit frightened. I have no idea how this guy didn't die with that shot. Oh well, that's how it rolls. This is the first map I've played, and surprisingly enough or not, I played one different map for each game, which is really very good for me. I mean, I stopped from playing for a couple of minutes just to buy stuff from the store, just to see my missions. There's missions in the game as well that you will see in a couple of minutes. And whenever I hit the play button, I would end up in a different map from where I was before. That's astonishingly good. Graphically, the game, as you can see, looks amazing. It looks astonishing. But I gotta say, it goes from terrible to very good. Why? The models in this game. The character models are terrible. They completely destroyed what I thought graphically about the game at first. You can notice the foliage moving. There's a lot of foliage in the game. I have it on ultra settings with max settings. You can get better than this. And the game looks beautiful. It really gives you that feeling of a post-apocalyptic place. I have difficulties in saying this word, I'm not sure why. So the objective in this game, basically, is picking resources, and I have one right here on top of that car that I didn't notice yet, apparently. that little box, gray box there, down there, that's a resource you have to pick up and bring to your base. They are scattered along the map, and the team that has the most resources on their base at the end of the time wins. This is just one game mode called team play, which they quoted as being PvP part of the game. This is where it brings up some confusion to me, because there's 3 game modes. There's team play, there's free play, which they claim to be PvE, okay, and there's cooperative game. Now, this would be fine if they didn't claim the free play, which they call it PvE, not having single player mode. So this brings up some confusion to me. But what I do know is that in this team play mode, it's just basically a team deathmatch game, where you just need to pick up the resources, bring them to your base. But if you kill more people, the better. Let's call it, let's say, resources or team point game mode, something along those lines. Now, at this point, I was still unclear what I really needed to do. Again, this was just first minutes in. I think I'm gonna try and destroy those barrels to see how you can react to your actions, but no, the map doesn't really react to your actions. Now, there's some fighting down there, and you can see those boxes described with a symbol on the map. That's the resource you need to get to your base, and I was just starting to understand what I really needed to do. There's a resource, oh yeah, here to the left. I'm gonna pick this up, and you get the message that you need to bring this resource to your base, but it fades so fast that you don't even have time to see it. So I sort of got the point that I had to bring this up to my base, but I wasn't sure where I would have to place it. It was actually that easy. I had to place it right here in that box to my left, but I skipped it because I still didn't know where to put it. So I brought it to our spawn, which is under this building. This building looks amazing, by the way. But I'm not sure if you're detected on the minimap, if you're carrying the resource, but this guy over here decided to follow me, kill me, and take the resource. Fortunately enough, he probably didn't know that it was in our spawn, and I spawned erroneously very near to him. So I just finished his misery. I'm pretty sure he didn't know what to do with this as well. I picked it up and I tried once again to know where to put it, but I didn't find it. So this guy here, Buckman, taught me where to do it. So you had to pick up the resource and place it in this box, and as you can see it on the top of the screen, the interface, it increased by 1, so that's 1 more point. No, you cannot climb ladders, unfortunately, but you have these terrible skeletons scattered throughout the map, which is amazing. There you go. In Survarium, you have 4 factions in terms of store. There's scavengers, there's black market, there's the Renaissance army, and there's the French settlers. Now, I got automatically joined up with the black market. I have no words to describe why. I am unsure, but once I finished this game, I got to join the black market immediately. I'm not sure if you level up, the more you get a different faction, but that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But what this basically means is that in the store you have different items to buy, with coins that you win by playing and by winning games. And some items are locked to a certain faction. That's basically the main difference. There's also missions in the game. Missions like spin less than 100 bullets in a game, or have higher than 30% accuracy. Things like that. These are kind of achievements, objectives, that they camouflage it as missions. When you do so, when you accomplish them, you not only gain some reputation for those factions, but you also gain some coins that you can spend. And that's one more feature in the game. I was now following these two guys because not only you can pick up resources from the map itself, I'm not sure how many resources they drop for each map, each round. But I'm pretty sure there should be a limited number of them. This guy tried to kill me. Unfortunately, he has a bad aim because there's friendly fire in the game. I just spotted that guy. I was trying to back up my colleagues and kill this guy first. But because I have a terrible aim, I failed at that. And my colleagues probably died after this. This is when you finish a round. You get this score. There are several statistics for whoever does the best support, best shooter, best player, etc. There are skills deaths. I died 6 times, I killed 7. And here is a mission I accomplished that I didn't even know about. But what I basically won was some coins and black market reputation. That's why I got to join the black market. But I didn't even get a choice which faction I wanted to join. Here are the different 4 factions. I guess that if you gotta pick a mission and try to accomplish that mission in order to gain reputation for that faction. So you get to choose your faction by accomplish a certain mission, a certain objective. This is a different map and a different weapon as well. This is the machine gun. From the start, you start with a rifle or a machine gun. I also got to buy a shotgun, a true barrel shotgun that you will see in a couple of minutes. I didn't want to spend too much coins because the better stuff was to get yet even unlocked with more level. So I wanted to try and keep those coins to buy stuff that was actually useful in the future. Because there's character development. You can buy stuff, you can buy items, you can buy better weapons, you can buy equipment. And that's, I guess, where the MMO part of the game kicks in. And this is why this is an MMO FPS. It's a genre you don't see too often nowadays. And it's a free-to-play game. I'm not sure if I already mentioned that, but after the closed beta, when you get into the open beta, I'm not sure if this, don't quote me, but there shouldn't be any more resets, and you can start playing the game as it was out, because it's a free-to-play game. You don't have to play anything. There's a premium account, just like World of Tanks. I guess it runs the same way. And you can also right now buy the Founders Pack, which will stop from existing when the game goes into open beta. So if you're interested in that, you should buy it right now. Which should give you access to some cool restricted stuff. To Founders Pack only. Should give you some coins as well. I'm gonna try and kick this guy in the butt. Right to my left, there's the enemy's base. So I was in a pretty risky position. But again, I was still unsure exactly what to do. And I was pretty alone. So I couldn't rob one of the resources of my own. I was also getting shot as hell, as you can see right now. The map itself has some hazard places. Now there's electricity, there's fogs of toxic waste that you must be careful with. It's kind of a no-brainer that you can't get into those, but I, for the sake of trying, got into those and ended up in the process, as we'll see in the future. There's something interesting that will happen right now to me. Unfortunately, I must say. I got out of ammo. And after that, what you basically have to do, this is a place where you don't want to get those anomalies. Now, here it is. I got out of ammo. And unfortunately, this pistol and the machine gun use the same type of ammo. This is maybe something that you don't want to do. Mix up weapons that use the same type of ammo. And I was trying to, I don't know, pick up this guy's machine gun, this guy's ammo. Because after this, what the hell can you do? I found that the only thing you could do is just jump into the middle of the map and wait for someone to kill you. I teamed up with these two guys in front of me. One of them went right to the resource. There you go, in my left. Just robbed one of the resources. And we're trying to protect him. This is team play right here in Survarium. Oh, there's a lot of players, like 15 against 15. But in the middle of this battle, middle of the war, you can really team up with a couple of guys and try to do something on your own. I tried to get that resource, but as you could see, I got killed in the process. Here's the proof that there is friendly fire. I kinda asked for that because I fired him first and he ended up the job. I want to say that I consider Survarium this type of slow-paced FPS. This is just not like Call of Duty. I would say that this game is for old-school FPSers like me that really enjoyed. I did a lot of damage in this game, 13 to 7. Not bad, not bad. I'm not just filling with the store. I decided to buy some stuff because the open beta was ending and I wanted to spend my coins in something useful. Now, I just bought the shotgun, the 2-barrel shotgun. And I comboed it with a carbine, the rifle, because now I could use some close combat, powerful close combat weapon and a ranged one. I was trying to figure it out how I could use straps and the bandages, but I guess I had to buy the backpack first in order to carry those items and use them in the game. These items that I'm about to buy don't give me any advantage whatsoever. They're just cosmetic. And I was, meh, well, I'm gonna buy this if it's just cosmetic. But I was freaking fed up of being similar to everyone else. Actually to be the same, because we had the same models. So I just decided, well, fuck it. I'm gonna buy a couple of these items, even though it's the first items you can buy, and everyone will buy them as soon as they can. I just want to look different from the others, and I had the right number of coins to actually buy everything I could and that I could afford. But there you go. I'm a little bit different from the others now. I have some pants and some gloves, and I looks a little bit different, even though the others look my evil, very evil twins. I have the same tattoo, but screw it. Here's a shotgun, a 2-barrel shotgun, and this is the different map as well. Again, I was astonished by the different type of maps and the difference between the map itself. This game was amazing. I got mesmerized by this place. Just look at this, an abandoned radio station. Looks amazing. The graphic detail in this map itself was just amazing. You could shoot through glass. You could hear the glass breaking. You could see the other. This is the type of hazard place that you don't want to step. And I'm fortunate that I skipped it. I was actually looking for that guy that I was following, but I lost him. I think I'm gonna find him right now. Here it is. I was lucky enough to get an headshot with a shotgun. There you go. The guy's all messed up. When I say the game goes from terrible to very good, this guy was trying to rob a resource. I was fortunate enough to kill him before that. If you look at the models, they really don't go well with the remaining graphics in the game. So they really should do something to the models, and I believe they will do so because the game is still in development. The game was about... oh, here we go. I'm gonna shoot through the glass. Look at that. And I hit the guy. Because I got that little crosshair in the middle of the screen that tells me that, yeah, I've hit something. I have someone. The game was scheduled to be released at the end of 2013, but something went wrong and they needed to delay it. I guess they're catering to quality, I hope. And here goes my science test. Here's for the scientist. Here's for the sake of you enjoying me suiciding myself at the electricity. That was pretty clear, obvious that I was getting killed, but I wanted to test it out. And here, but in this point, I had no idea I would die from this toxic waste fog. This is the last different map I want to show you, and that I had the opportunity to test out. I know there's at least 5 or 6 different maps, which is amazing for a release for this early state of the game. This is some sort of Coliseum style of map where close quarters combat really gets into play. That's why I enjoyed my shotgun so much in this. Here is the anomaly. There's always 1 or 2 in each map that you shouldn't get close to. I'm not sure what's the purpose of them in the map. Here's a resource. I'm try and probably bring it to my base. Or die in the process. Not even sure. But if you get into the middle of that anomaly, you end up by dying. So that's something that you shouldn't look for. Did I was successful in doing this? Or trying to do this? I had to place it in the freaking boss, but I wasn't aiming right apparently. But I was somewhat confused because when I got it, which is right about now, the score didn't move, it didn't change. So I was, what the hell? This guy was trying to do the same for their team, and I eventually stopped him. This is basically your job in the team play game mode or in Survarium. Right now the game got back to closed beta with restricted access, and it should be that way until the end of the Q2 of 2014, when the game is changing to open beta and everyone can access it and play it. The free play mode is the second game mode they're releasing, which they claim it to be the PvE, even though there's no single player mode, which kind of confuses me again. But that is planned for Q4 of 2014. So I would say for a complete state of the game, you still probably have to wait until the end of 2014. That would be my best bet. They plan to have support for mods, even though you won't be allowed to change the core stuff of the game. That's interesting to know. Modes will be included, mode support. And I find this interesting that map-wise, it was very symmetrical. So you had this fighting point in the middle. You have each team's base, and they were kind of the same. And you had a meeting point in the middle. That was where basically the fight went on. But the map was basically the same if you think about it. But it was well done. Graphically, the foliage, the buildings, this frightening atmosphere that you sometimes get with the noises and the spooky places. I felt that a little bit, and it's kind of interesting. So in conclusion, I wouldn't advise this to coast players, for instance. I would advise this for slow-paced FPSers that like this style of game. The game is still developing, as you can probably see, but it's on its own good path, I would say. About to kill this guy. I hope. He has the same gun than me. We're failing miserably. Mostly because of the freaking latency we had in the fucking game. But this, ladies and gentlemen, was my first look on Survarium. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you're interested in testing out this game, please check the links in the description. It should take you down to the correct place to apply for the closed beta. I'm TheSparrowsJourney. I'll see you next time with less radioactivity.